Warning, this podcast brought to you by a sports team fanboy living here in Miami. We'd like to remind you that during this podcast you may hear swearing, yelling, ranting, a whole bunch of other stuff your ears may not be prepared for. Your discretion is advised.
Welcome to Miami. This is your friendly host, Stephen Wolf, and introducing to another edition to the Miami Sports Podcast. Right now, for this week, I'll be talking the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat. Since the Miami Dolphins season is over, I'll be talking about those two throughout the rest of their seasons. Depending how this goes, I'll either do this both sports teams once a week or do them separate podcasts, depending on how much television I can consume of both teams. It's very hard to actually do both teams, both the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers at the same time. For this week, both the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat had a reverse of fortunes, as last week the Panthers were dominant and Miami Heat were so-so. This week is different. Florida Panthers, had a strange week. On the other hand, he have a great week. Continue on their winning ways and forecast. Winning ways. Sorry about that. I should start with Florida Panthers. So far, they went 2-1. 2-1 this week. They faced Minnesota Wild, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Minnesota Wild, Florida Panthers did not do so well with them. Many mistakes, and the fact that we never won at Minnesota for a while. Unfortunately, I missed the priority of the game because I was on vacation. What can you do? That's a tough one to lose. On the other hand, the Detroit game, they had a 4-2 loss. They were on a plane all day, so I don't really blame them on that game. They weren't exactly prepared. But it'll be strange if they actually missed playoffs by 2, because that the game they actually had to play on. And the final game they faced was the Columbus Blue Jackets. Huberdeau scored the final goal before it went to overtime, and they left. And unfortunately, it went to a shootout. For a moment, I thought it was about. It felt the game like a few years ago when they faced the Washington Capitals, when they went several rounds to the game. It went into 21 rounds. This one went around nearly 10 rounds. But unfortunately, the Florida Panthers couldn't score that equalizer to keep the round going. Despite best attempts, it's better. It's like kind of like last year that they won three straight. They swept the California series, but then they went to a very bad something they couldn't come back from. At least they got a point for out this week. I wish they could have gotten more. For next week's opponents, they face the St. Louis Blues, the Chicago Flames, and the Vegas Knights. Maybe this upcoming week, they'll reschedule the Boston game. They postponed it on a Wednesday or Tuesday. Actually, no, they face the Blues on the Tuesday. So, most likely they either pace after the Blues game, but definitely before the Calgary game. That's probably their best bet, unless they chose to do it the week after next, which is tomorrow. It's strange when you say upcoming week. It's like it's Sunday, then it's Monday, then it goes on through the week. As for the Miami Heat, they've so far had a better week than they had last week. Though they had very close games throughout throughout the week. Oakland, if I'm saying his name right, has been doing well, as well as great joggers on his assists and helping out the game. And they had a very close one against the Jazz. Very close games. Like the Knicks game went into overtime. The Jazz game went to nearly overtime with that last scourge by excuse me, Johnson, I believe. Sorry. I'm trying to do this on the fly and based on I don't usually do it without notes and everything, so I just want to keep this simple and fresh. So for next week, they face the Toronto Raptors, and you have Pacers, the Milwaukee Bucks for the week. I suspect that they at least that's a very tough schedule. All of them are within playoff standings, and I feel like they're gonna have a little difficult time in there. I don't think they will continue the winning streak. It'll be awesome if they do, but I feel like that's a week that's gonna be very, very difficult to pass by, to score an opportunity on. As for the Florida Panthers, again they face the Blues, the Calgary, and the Vegas Knights. Those teams, I feel the Panthers can do pretty much the average week, like 2 wins a week or something like that. But I hope that they can. They are improving. They are improving. The previous two games before the Columbus 2 games, they had a little bit of rough. The Wild game they should have done better. They should have done better. As for the Detroit game, well, being jet lagged, being on a playoff week, well, that can screw up your game. It would have been an opposite week if they had faced Boston. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right then. Comment, subscribe, like this page if you like what I see or hear. Here's another quick Miami podcast, and stay tuned.